Guys, happy Monday morning. Welcome to another episode. I don't know why I'm calling it another episode, but yeah, welcome in. Another week. I think we've got a few more to go yet as well. We'll find out a bit more tonight from Boris, I'm sure. If anybody's watching abroad, by the way, hi. I'm not sure if anybody is, but yeah, we're obviously still in lockdown in the UK. So yeah, let's crack on. Let's crack straight on with it today. Aussie Open, big talking point. I thought I'd give it a day, let the dust settle a little bit from it. From the final, Novak coming through. Love him or hate him, you've got to accept, you've got to respect him. I mean, I'm not Novak's biggest fan. I don't think he's particularly loved by lots of tennis fans in comparison to, say, Federer and Nadal. But yeah, you have to respect the guy. Just incredible. I don't really know how you can go about beating him over 5 sets, to be honest, when he's fully fit. I really don't know. Unless he gets bored during the match or something, I really don't know. I did say the late evening on Saturday that I thought it was a 50.5, 49.5 in favour of Novak. I mean, it proved to be a lot more than that. I did also say, it wouldn't surprise me if he's winning straights as well, but that's, you know, you're covering all your bases, that's cheating. But I did pick Novak, but like I say, I would love to have seen Medvedev come through. First set was competitive. I did think it was about a 50-50 set in the first. The thing with these guys, the thing with Novak especially, how hard it is to wrestle the momentum away from him. That's what you find it. I know it was 3-love in the first set to Novak, but then Medvedev pulled it back to 3-all and seemed to have some momentum. And then what the best players do, and this is why I think Novak's probably the best clutch player of all time. And what I mean by that is, like, under pressure, best server I think under pressure I've ever seen, and just in general clutch player, is he then threw in like a love service hold within about a minute. It took a couple of first serves, and you're laughing. Osaka did it the morning before against Brady as well. That just shows what the true champions are. They just wrestle that momentum away. It's very hard to lose momentum against these guys or girls, the best players in the world, but it's extremely hard to gain it. Very easy to lose it, and that's what you find. He just, he does everything well. He's the most underrated serve probably ever. I know Goran may have helped us that, maybe even being a bit more aggressive off second serve. Best returner in the game by mile. Just puts so many returns in play, deep through the middle, which is what I talk about, giving no angle for people to attack him. And obviously he's just Mr. Elastic Man, getting out wide. I mean, look at this. I'm going to pull a groin trying to do this, getting out wide and striking a lot. He did use the short slice. I did say that, remember? I hope that proves whether people have been watching or not. I said he would use the short slice, try and bring Medvedev in a bit. He had a lot of success doing that. But then in general, Medvedev kind of, I say, fell apart. I mean, he obviously error count went up and just really started to try and force the issue, and then it was game over. So yeah, got to respect him. One thing just that I noticed, and again, there's no right or wrong here, by the way, return wise, obviously I'm a two-handed player when I play, and Novak and Medvedev are both two-handed players, but when Medvedev returns, he actually has his left hand on the throat of the racket, which is something I personally wouldn't teach, because he has to then shift the left hand down to play the backhand, whereas if you have it on the handle, obviously you're able to play the two-hander as it is. You don't have to move the left hand anywhere. Obviously, yes, you have to take the left hand off for a forehand, but I think surely we're all used to that. And watching Novak, he's here. So it's just one thing that I picked up on. Not that that's going to change anything, by the way. Medvedev seems to return so well. It's not my place. I would just be intrigued to see why, and whether it's just something he's done from a young age. So yeah, just something I picked up on. And like I say, good idea when you're working with your players. Something I do is work on that variation, because it shows that Medvedev, maybe the ability to maybe come to the net, throw in the odd serve volley, something a bit different. Obviously, Djokovic showed that his variation has got better, his slice has got, and that's made him a better player, in my opinion. And is he 33 or 32? I think he's my age, 33 maybe. For me, I said it yesterday while watching, I think he's peaking. He's actually getting better, which is just incredible. The guy's longevity, and I see him winning, obviously, loads more, which is not a prediction, it's just a fact. I think I just don't see how you beat him over 5 sets certainly on the hard court. Very, very difficult. It'll take a lights out, blinding performance from a big server, or like a Federer or somebody, but over the 5, it's so difficult. Best of 3 is a bit of a different question. But yeah, so a bit of I suppose anticlimax. I thought it could have been a great final. There were some good moments still, but yeah, obviously, like I said, love him or hate him, you've got to respect him. One thing as well that I'll say, and I'm not afraid to say it, because there's not enough of you listen to it that actually matters too much, but maybe that'll start changing anyway. But yeah, he talked about, maybe, did he say that he booked his plane tickets home after the Fritz game? Now, I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. Now, he might have, but first of all, well, a few things to think about on that one. First of all, I think there's a documentary being made, so you're telling me that that doesn't help that documentary, i.e. it makes it more dramatic that Novak's saying he had his flight booked home, so he was done after that match. Also, he probably gets free flights anyway, so it doesn't really matter whether you book or cancel it, or if he doesn't, he's a multi-millionaire, so actually booking and cancelling a flight means absolutely nothing. So I'm not sure. I would say that is done for a bit more of the drama rather than anything else. So maybe that's the side that people struggle with a little bit, because I'm sorry, if you, as Berrettini showed after the third round, I think it was against Cacciano, he had torn and he couldn't play. Now you can say repairing and things, but that is just obscene. So for me, that's the side maybe that people struggle with Djokovic, rather than coming out and saying, yeah, I'm okay, it was just a little tweak. It's, anyway, but yeah, so yeah, take that as you want. Right, so what I thought we'd do today quickly is a little footwork exercise. So a little exercise on the rising ball. It's something I do with a few of my players, and like I say, I work with a lot of adults now, so I don't actually work with as many juniors anymore. But yeah, something I still do with the adults, and it's great for them, because what you get with a lot of adult players and juniors as well, like I said, this is for everybody, but you get a lot of neutral grips in adult tennis. So obviously I work to try and get those grips around a little bit to create a bit more topspin. Helps it naturally, closes the strings off a bit more, so you can create that bit of topspin on both sides. But you do get a lot of neutral grips. So what you get from a lot of adult players is them loving or thoroughly enjoying contacting the ball around the waist height, which is the most comfortable height, obviously. What this drill, and obviously you've got to have a good imagination during lockdown, so remember this imagination, it's imaginary tennis. I'm very good at it these days. But yeah, so they don't particularly, with that neutral grip, it's a lot harder as the ball gets up high to control, and that's where you find a lot of adults really struggle to take that ball that bit earlier. So this is an idea to help. Obviously tips, like I say, whether it's a grip change or not just a grip change, but actually, I'm round the grip slightly anyway. But yeah, this is my worst shot in tennis, by the way, the slow high forehand. But you can see there, as I take the racket back, my string's a bit more closed, which again, if I hit through the ball that bit more, the idea is it gets it to dip into the court a bit more, as opposed to if the strings are open a bit more and I strike that ball, like it is, I give it some pace, it's going to be overhit, very tough, and then I'm going to end up playing safe and playing more on the back foot. So again, this gets people trying to get used to playing on the front foot, and coming inside the baseline. So I'm use your imagination, mate. You can use a tennis ball, you can use a bottle, you can use anything. I'm using my foam roller. I need that a lot of the minutes, but I'm using my foam roller here, so I'm using that as my kind of obstacle to move around. Doesn't matter on height, to be honest, but yeah, anything you can get in front of and behind. Like I say, you could use a tennis ball for this. I've got a tennis ball here as well. You could use a tennis ball for that. Anything to be honest. Yeah, a book. It doesn't matter. The wider, the more you have to move anyway. So not a bad thing. But yeah, little exercise. We're going to do six strokes. Okay, and I'd like us to all have a go at this. Hopefully, we'll do 6 strokes. You don't even need a racket for this one. If you want to swing with your arm, you can swing with your arm as well. The footwork's the most important part. But again, the racket is good to have, because you can work on keeping those strings closed, which a lot of club players struggle with. That you see, I do this a lot in my adult groups when we were allowed to do adult groups, in that short ball attack. But also, this bit of the movement is also about, yes, I call it V-shaped movement. It's about shortening the court, so taking the ball earlier, rushing your opponent, taking time away from your opponent, which is a massive thing in tennis. Remember, when people have time on the ball, they tend to play well. When people get rushed, that's when they really struggle, and that's when you can hurt them. But also that idea that once we've played this ball, if this is my baseline and I'm moving in front of my roller here, and so this is my base, once I've played that ball and maybe I don't want to come back, it's about then the recovery. This happens after serve as well. It's about the recovery behind that baseline, so you've got everything back in front of you, as opposed to doing what most adults do in tennis, getting stuck in no man's land, getting stuck around here, ball coming back, and then we're on the back foot. So hopefully it helps with that. So we're going to do 6 strokes, okay, to start with. Alright, so we're just going to do the 6, and then we're going to progress it. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, and then I promise I'll be out of your hair, and we'll, like I say, any requests I can go on during the week. So literally, you've got your thing on the floor in front of you. So I've got my foam roller. So I'm gonna cut in front. So I'm gonna go in front of this foam roller. I'm gonna play a forehand. Then I'm gonna come in behind it. Then I'm gonna move on to it diagonal. So cut the angle off. Remember, in the court. And I'm gonna play backhand. And I'm just gonna repeat that 6 times to start with. That's the first repetition. Okay. So watch. So I haven't got much room here. So I won't swing massive. But again, you don't need to when you take the ball early. Remember. So again, I move in front. So I'm gonna do it intense behind, in front, behind the movement. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Onto it. You see, I'm getting onto the ball there. You can do this walking if you want. Don't worry. Whoa. Now, honestly, maybe I'm unfit, but actually, if you put the effort in, it just shows you can get you can do your work. So those players quarantining in Australia, this would be a lot of what they were doing in their rooms, because they had a tiny area. They had balls hit off the wall. I'm not going to hit off the wall, so I've got a picture above. I might knock that off. But yeah, so lots of these things. And as you can tell from me, it does get your heart rate going if you do it at the right level. But don't worry if you feel like that intensity you can't do, right? Walk onto it. It's fine. It's fine if you want to walk onto it. Just getting used to what I would call the V-shaped movement. So you're cutting the angle off the court, getting used to hitting the ball early. Like I say, technically, keeping the strings closed, especially on the forehand. Backhand, two hands again. If we can work that left hand over the top, you can see as I hit. I've taken it early, but I've got the strings slightly closed there. If I'm a one-hander, it is harder. You could slice. So you can slice this if you want to. We will do a couple of variations. But again, as I strike, I'm off my right foot. Got my right foot down the court. But also I'm trying to keep those strings a bit more close and get that racket through. But it is trickier for a one-hander. But again, get used to that feeling, taking the ball early rather than being on the back foot, and then falling away from the shot and opening the strings. So, right, next variation. So it's a very similar drill. But what we're going to do for a bit of fun is on ball 6, so the sixth time round, so it'll be a backhand, okay? We're going to disguise the drop shot, okay? So you've got to imagine this in your head. Remember, drop shots are very good if you're inside the baseline, which is what we're working on here, and your opponent's behind, and this would be the idea. Your opponent's behind the baseline, so the drop shot comes into play. And what we're going to do, though, we're going to have a 7th ball as well. So we're going to play the drop shot. So we're going to disguise it. I'm going to disguise it as a two-hander, but you can play it as a one-hander or however you want to. We're going to move on to the 6th ball. We're going to cut the little soft drop shot. But then after that, so we've moved inside the court, we're going to cut it, then we're going to come in for the volley, put away the volley, sorry I'm in close there, bit off-putting, but yeah, we're going to come in for the 7th volley, that finisher, because remember, once you drop shot in tennis, it's a great idea to move into around that service line area, cuts the angle off for the opponent, means that you're not stuck in no man's land yourself, but also it means that you have the initiative, so you can cut off things. It's tough for them to get it over the top of you because you're on the service line, it's tough for them to lob you, so you might be able to cover that, but also you can cut the angles off, look imposing, quite in like a goalkeeper in football, and then it gives you a chance. So remember, 6th ball, disguise the drop shot, play the finishing volley, okay? So, right, ready? Let's go. So 1, onto it, bang. Oh, this is tough. God, this is my fitness for today. 3, get used to it, onto that ball, visualise it. This is 5, ready? Disguise the drop shot, follow in, and volley away. Boom. There we go. Very good. Oh, it's quite tough, isn't it? Right. So, last variation, okay? Remember, this is the drill you can do, like I say, really high. If you've got the luxury of having a bit more space and a wall maybe, and someone to drop you a ball, you can practice taking that ball on and getting somebody to drop you it and practice the same routine. But always try and practice that movement side, because again, like I say, it might not be that it's the right ball to move in on. You might not feel like you want to go to the net. So you need to get in behind that baseline so that you can see everything in front of you and everything's on the front foot, as opposed to being, like I said, stuck in no man's land and you don't really know where to go, okay? So, God, either I'm unfit or I'm actually working quite hard. I'm not sure which it is, but yeah, like I say, anybody can do this, okay? So last routine, okay? We're going to actually throw in, I'm going to say we're going to throw in a smash. Can I reach? Yeah, we'll have a little smash as well, okay? So, 8 balls, okay? But what we're going to do is the variation. So we've done the little drop shot variation. Great option, remember. Practice it as much as you can, because it really can help, as Djokovic showed a little bit yesterday. This time, the 6th ball is going to be your slice backhand approach, okay? So a slice backhand approach can really work in tennis because it keeps the ball low, makes your opponent hit up, okay? And if you're closing the net down, then you might get a higher volley that you can then put away. So we're going to work on that slice backhand approach as number 6. So we're going to play the slice backhand. We're going to come in for the volley. Oh, they've managed to, we're going to pretend we're playing Novak, okay? They've managed to make us play another ball. I'm then going to back away and look at my movement there. I'm side on, okay? So this is another footwork pattern here. So I've played my volley, forehand or backhand, whichever you want, okay? But then I've seen the lob come in. So I'm back, I'm crossover step with my left, okay, or my right if I'm left-handed, but my left foot, okay, so I'm side on. I don't want to break the light in my room, so bear with me, but I'm back, up, and I'm going to play the smash as my 8th ball, and that'll finish us for the day, okay? Right, ready then? So remember, 6 is the slice, volley, finish with the smash, try and practice that movement. You can walk the movement, remember, so we've played the volley, you can walk it, but just get used. It's that left foot crossing, it's like a run. Yeah, then you're facing the court, you can still see the ball, and you're side on to then allow the racket to throw, okay? I'm watching this light here, that would be great, wouldn't it? I'd probably get more views, to be fair, if I smash my light up. Anyway, right, last try, ready? So, we're in, 1, back in behind it, 2, I'm feeling that backhand, it's always been my best shot, straight up that line. That's my one. Line number 5. Remember, slice backhand, slice approach. In for the volley, side, 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 and ooh, yeah. Just hit the wall there, guy. Luckily I didn't break the light, but I did hit the wall. That's my intensity there, so that might get us some more views. But I hope my movement was correct there. I'm not going to redo that, by the way, because that is legitimate. I was up. I must have reached a little bit. I'm about 6 foot odd. Yep, there you go. So I took the top. Look at my lights are still intact there. Oh God, I'm knackered. So don't be afraid about that last noise. It was the wall. I haven't broken anything in my room. I was more concerned than you, I'm sure. Although, like I say, probably gets more laughs. It just shows we're all human anyway. But yeah, I've got to be honest, I really enjoyed that. I think that's what's that, 6, 13, 20, 21 strokes maybe there. You can do as many repetitions of that as you want. 6 balls, 8 balls, don't do many more than 8 because your quality will drop. Sounds silly when you haven't got a ball and people say quality, but try and get the intensity right. Like I say, if your intensity is walking on, to get used to stepping into the court, taking that ball before it drops and rushing the opponent a little bit more. Still out of breath. Yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed that, and like I said, I'm getting the racket back in the hand a little bit. I think we've got a few more weeks of this yet. Last thing before I go, please, like I say, have a go at this, but thanks to anybody that's subscribed. Like, I know it sounds silly and really cheesy, but it really does mean a lot. I love tennis, and it's a sport that I'm very passionate about, and I really feel like these videos can be beneficial to players, coaches, parents, anything. Yeah, this is just a start in my opinion, so I'm really going to try and push this. I think we're up to about 55 subscribers, so yesterday we had a little jump, which is nice. I'm trying to get it out there a little bit more. Remember, just under 2 weeks to try and get to 100. We'll do that. I'm going to do a little interactive tennis lesson with a lot of these kind of things, but more, you know, in a small area, so you don't need a massive area, so don't panic. There'll all be little skills and things to work on, little footwork drills as well, and that's a little taster of what's to come. It'll be loads of fun, 20 to 30 minutes I would guess, loads and loads of fun, loads of smiling. I'd love to see people do it. I'd love to like get 20 plus people. That'd be brilliant. But thank you so much for anybody that subscribed. Remember, YouTube, just type in Galps or Sean Galpin. But Galps is my kind of tennis nickname, I suppose. So type in Galps, tennis with Galps, anything like that. They should all come up. Yeah, I'm getting, like I said, this is just the start. I've got lots of ideas going forwards. I want to really try and push this maybe into some not broadcasting necessarily, but podcast world and things like that for North East tennis especially, which is where I'm from. But yeah, have a lovely day. Thanks so much. Please share with people. The subscribe button, it's just one click. Even if you don't like me, one click, it would really mean a lot. But yeah, like I say, have a go at this game. It's taking the ball on the rise will be the idea, remember. Have a go at this drill, a bit of fun. It'll take you, 5 minutes, a little bit of exercise. Got to be good for you. So yeah, like I say, have a great day. Happy Monday. I'll probably be back tomorrow. I think Murray plays tomorrow in Montpellier. So really good luck to him. He's got a decent draw. I think it's a 50-50 match. Let's have him to win that one. Well done to Ryan Peniston as well, who's a British player who qualified in Kazakhstan. I think Nur Sultan. Anyway, but well done to him. Yeah, so I'll try and keep us updated with a lot of Brits and things. And there'll be more like ones to watch coming up and things and ones to look out for. So yeah, have a lovely day, everyone. See you later. Bye.